crime against children should be treated in a different way. And those who murder our children should get the capital punishment of death.
Yetanya was your first daughter.
Yes.
How has your family been since that time?
Well, we've been, day by day, day to day, we've been trying to pull ourselves together as best as possible. It's always fresh. Anytime anyone mentions the name, especially when family get together, it's always fresh on the memory. Sometimes, for that reason, we try to stay as far apart as possible just because of that. You understand? Just to show you how difficult it is really. It's almost like whenever somebody sees me, it's like, yeah, it's here we go again. You understand? It's hard for me to describe the way I feel, right? But for one, it's nothing that I would, if I could choose to, if I had to choose the feeling of that, and not living, then I'd probably choose not living.
Alright,
Understand? It's painful. It's really painful, and it has been.
And how's the matter before the courts in regards to your daughter been settled as you?
Well, not as far as I know, because I've not been communicated with, especially in the past year or so. I've not heard anything from police, right? No one has given me any call. About a year and a half ago, I had two officers came to my place, and what I heard that the investigation was ongoing, but up until that time, they had not gotten any leads.
If there was to be a case that was decided, what would you want to see be the penalty for the person who had committed crimes against your daughter?
Life for a life. Simple as that. As a child, I said to someone before, I don't think there's anything that a child could do in this life or any life that would merit them death. Nothing at all. Children are innocent, right? And they should be seen as such at all times, and they should be treated as such at all times.
A lot of the violence against our children actually starts in the home, and then that filters out into the wider Jamaica. This is the 16th year of this celebration in November 2008, when I launched this project along with then Prime Minister Bruce Golding. We did not anticipate that more than 1,000 young people's names would have been listed at this location, and there is still a vast number of young people's names that has not been added. We're going to be erecting to this side of the monument another portion to take the name. But the message is for all Jamaicans. We must accept and appreciate the children of the country. We can no longer continue conveniently to speak out about the atrocities that is being, treated out to our young people right across the country. And we are not comfortable that every year we come here to commemorate the unfortunate demise of young people whose contribution to Jamaica can never be measured, because we don't know what it is they would have been able to contribute. Those that are killed in violent confrontation, where a gun boy would walk into a house and shoot an innocent child, there is no excuse. I don't know how much policing or how many laws we can put on the books. But as far as I'm concerned, crime against children should be treated in a different way. And those who murder our children should get the capital punishment of death. There are persons who are saying that it is a backward step to talk about hanging. But the price that these criminals are paying on careless parents for brutal assault on our children you know, we're not seeing anybody paying the price that they ought to pay. And as a country, we must take stock and say, are we doing justice to our young people?
This issue, which we believe is an important issue to keep in the minds of persons as we move toward ending violence against children. We have always said that we want to raise a generation of children whose imaginative faculties are well developed, nurtured, matured, and because this is important for the success of our city, of our municipality, and our country.
Do you share the same sentiments with Minister Mackenzie about persons who murder kids should get the capital punishment?
The issue of murder is a major issue in our society. The issue of murdering children and violence against children is really a very serious issue, and I believe that I would concur with Minister Mackenzie with respect to looking at the issue seriously in terms of the legal framework.
We have been able to respond to the number of reports we have been receiving through the National Children's Registry and also those that come into our offices across the island. We have 14 parish offices, and so whilst there's not an increase overall, we have seen an increase from the COVID 2 years. So we are back up to over 1,000 cases per month, and we are still concerned about the vicious violence being committed against our children. You know, we hear of a 3-year-old who was recently shot in Hanover. And so those things continue to trouble us. So during the month of May, for Child Month, we'll be focusing on preventative measures, doing the community interventions, going into schools with the Ministry of Education and others to really reinforce prevention. You know, how do we keep our children safe? What does it mean to protect a child? And that's what we'll be doing for the month.
And of that proportion of the 1,000 cases that you see, could you expound on what sort of crimes you see?
So the most prevalent in that is neglect. People not providing, you know, care and protection for their children. Physical abuse, sexual abuse. A significant portion now, especially with your teenagers from about 13 to 17, is those with extreme behavioral challenges. And we are seeing an increase in mental health issues and psychosocial issues. So that is driving the behavior in those categories. We have some parishes that we call hotspots. So Kingston and St. Andrew, of course, St. Catherine, Clarendon. We see some uptick in St. Anne, St. Mary, and the Western Belt, St. James, Hanover, Westmoreland. So those are the really parishes that we focus on a lot.